seeing two heads on the windowsill. She was overcome with grief. She collapsed to her knees, wailing in anguish, but soon she forced herself to calm down. Remembering she still had her third son, sure enough, the door slowly opened. Seeing her youngest son safe, the woman felt both joy and sorrow. As long as her youngest son was still alive, she had the courage to go on living. The story unfolded on a hillside where a widow raised 3 sons. The eldest and second sons were terribly mischievous, often bullying their youngest brother. Though timid, the youngest frequently helped his mother with farm work. One day, the 3 boys went up the mountain to play. Left alone at home, the widow encountered an unwelcome visitor, a brutal hunter from the area who had remained a lifelong bachelor. He had long harbored evil intentions toward this honest widow, but the widow found the hunter too ugly to consider him. She promptly ordered him to leave. Faced with such rejection, the hunter flew into a rage. He tried to force his way in and embrace the widow. Furious and desperate, the widow declared, "Unless all my children are gone, I will never consider a partner in this lifetime." These words, spoken without thought, fell on the hunter's ears. The hunter etched these words deep into his memory, unwittingly sowing the seeds of tragedy. That evening, the widow told her 3 sons, "Tomorrow I must go to town to buy rice. Under no circumstances open the door to strangers." Little did she know the hunter had overheard their conversation. A tragedy was about to unfold. Early the next morning, the widow dragged her luggage out the door. The 3 boys initially obeyed, locking the door as their mother instructed. But soon, a familiar whistle sounded outside, the tune the widow often hummed while working. This puzzled them greatly. The eldest son thought his mother must have forgotten something, and rushed to open the door. The youngest son quickly stopped him. "What if it's the hunter?" Then the knocking began. The eldest brother grew even more certain of his suspicion. He shoved his younger brother aside and rushed to open the door. The third brother could only hide with the second. When the eldest opened the door, it was indeed not their mother. It was the hunter. His scheme having succeeded, he frantically tried to close the door, but a child's strength was no match for the hunter's. In the end, the eldest brother was strangled to death by the hunter. After entering, the hunter grabbed the widow's undergarments and greedily sniffed their scent. In his panic, he stepped in a puddle of urine, revealing the second brother hiding below. Only the third brother, concealed in the chimney, narrowly escaped. Fearing the widow would still resist if the third remained, he seized an axe and severed their heads, displaying them on the windowsill as a warning to the widow. When night fell and the widow returned, she discovered this gruesome scene. Silently, she cleaned away the bloodstains, resolving to start anew with the youngest son. Yet the hunter's shadow haunted her dreams. She knew that as long as the hunter lived, neither she nor her son would ever know peace. After much deliberation, she made a bold decision to make the hunter pay for his crimes with blood. Early the next morning, the widow prepared a feast, and dressed in her finest clothes, she feigned an invitation for the hunter to dine, pretending she had given up and accepted him, all to lower his guard. At the table, the hunter completely let down his guard, even beginning to make advances toward the widow. Only when the third son appeared did he slightly rein in his ambitions, but the hunter never imagined his arrogance would be his fatal flaw. After a struggle, the hunter fell into the widow's trap. Only then did he realize his body was drenched in gasoline. By that moment, it was already too late.